Elizabeth!
No, Elizabeth!
No! Elizabeth, don't!
This is Left Unsupervised with Elizabeth Morales, your comedic host that's done it all. Actress, writer, director, producer, hairdresser, bartender, beauty pageant organizer, rock and roll PR expert, talent coordinator, bookkeeper, hostess, makeup artist, wife, mother, and general badass. Now listen as she interviews all of her favorite celebrities, doctors, and entrepreneurs that she's met along the way. This week, Elizabeth is left unsupervised with her guest,
Kyme and Dwayne Mariner. Hey guys, so today is a little bit of a different format because I don't have Dana with me today, but we miss you, Dana. But I have two angels in the studio with me today by the name of Dwayne and Kyme Mariner, and they are the bomb. And they have this incredible company called Alpha Hydration, and they are mobile IVs. And I haven't talked about this very in detail, but today I'm ready to spill the tea and talk about for the last, I would say, 10 to 11 months, I was super, super sick, like scary sick, like I thought something super bad was happening. And I didn't really know what to do. So I was in and out of the hospital constantly. I would say I was in the hospital like 8 times in the ER. And I kept getting diagnosed with this thing called acute pancreatitis. So I've had every MRI, CT scan, and they couldn't figure out what was going on until finally, light bulb moment. After all these visits to the ER, I finally get a specialist, and the specialist is an amazing doctor, Dr. Ken Park. And they do this test where they stick a camera down your throat, and they found that I had a genetic disorder, and I was born with an extra pancreas. Yeah, leave it up to me to have some rare weird thing. But yes, it's called an ectopic pancreas, and it was acting as my real pancreas. So like imagine it's like a little mini pancreas, which was acting as if it was the big pancreas, which was getting me in and out of the hospital with these acute flare-ups of pancreatitis. Anyway, these people, these angels that are here today, Dwayne and Kyme, came to my house almost every day. I needed IVs. They kept my spirits up. They are incredible. And the reason why I'm having them is because they kept me out of the hospital so many times until I figured out what was going on, until they figured out what was going on. So I can't wait for you guys to hear more about them, their background. They are amazing nurses that worked in trauma units, pediatrics, emergency rooms. They're used to high intensity. And they have some crazy stories. And they are from Amarillo, Texas. And they have the coolest story of how they met. So I am so happy to have you guys in the studio today. Welcome, my little angels, Dwayne and Kyme.
Thank you. We're really excited to be here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
I think this is the first time you guys have seen me with makeup and not looking pasty and slouched over like, hi, I'm so glad to see you guys.
Except for all your pictures and stuff, yeah.
I know. I was saying earlier how the last 10 to 11 months, although you couldn't tell on social media because I hate putting that stuff out there, I was having a really hard time. So I want to take the listeners on the journey of how we met. But before we get into that, I want to know, because this is the coolest story, how you guys met.
Actually, Kyme tells a story excellent.
Okay. Of course she does.
Well, we met in the ER in Amarillo. We were both emergency room nurses. Actually, I came from the ICU, and Dwayne was already in the ER. But what's really kind of cool about us is Dwayne bought a house, and he had a housewarming party. And I went, and his parents were there, and they were asking me where I was from. And I said that I was from Boston. I hated being from Amarillo.
I don't know why she said
back.
Boston. It's still amazing.
I had just moved back from Boston, so I thought that sounded really cool. And they kept looking at me, and they said, who's your dad? And so, of course, my dad's from Amarillo. And I told them, and they go, oh, we know you. And then come to find out I didn't know Dwayne's last name. It was Mariner. And our dads actually had been friends for all these years.
Oh, my God.
It's crazy.
I love this story.
Yes, my dad at 21 bought a service station in Canyon, and Dwayne's dad who his dad was not really in the picture. Him and his friend broke into my dad's service station and stole
Wait, Dwayne's dad
Yes.
Little
broke
thug.
into your dad's.
into my dad's service station and tried to steal an air conditioner.
Oh my God.
Stole
He
it.
just got
Actually,
caught.
he did get it. And my dad said, "Hey, listen, instead of stealing from me, why don't you come work for me?" So he hired
Oh my
him.
God.
Yeah, and kind of helped raise Jerry. So then,
Which thank God for that, because he was going to be a mess if Neil hadn't jumped in real quick. Because it was
Yeah.
bad.
Oh my God.
bad.
so he just kind of helped raise him. And then I always grew up hearing the name Jerry Mariner because he was a fireman and did lots of great things. And then Dwayne heard my dad's name all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Oh my
Who
God.
is this guy? It's basically I'm like, what are you...
So it's just crazy for them. Our dads, they were like, "Hey, I don't know about this." When we started dating, they were like, "Oh, this is so weird," but it's been the best thing ever.
Hey,
Our
it's
families
Kismet.
love
You
it.
guys were supposed to be together. Isn't
Oh,
that
it's totally
For
crazy.
sure,
And now they're like two little old women when they get together. They always just sit around in the corner and talk.
Oh,
and that's
my
all they do. So they really like
Well, they
it,
must
too.
look at you guys and just be like so happy that you guys are together.
We think so.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
great.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
so,
good.
well, let's get a little bit into your background history, your nursing, your medical history. Give a little bit about that because I met you guys. My husband went, Mike first, went to get an IV, but he went for a different reason. He went, I think he was doing the Spartan race or one of those things, or
Yeah.
had just gotten back. So he was like, felt dehydrated. He went to you guys, felt amazing. And then when I got sick, he's like, you should call. And then, of course, I fell in love with you guys. But tell everybody the background, a little bit of what your nursing background and where you've worked.
Okay. So we both, of course, worked in the ER. As of today, we would have been about 14 years. But we started in a normal ER in Amarillo. It was really no trauma or anything. Decided to start traveling in 2010. Traveled to Dallas, worked some, community ER things, nothing
Right.
really special. Then went to Florida, worked level 1 trauma centers, South Carolina level 1 trauma centers, built a house in Austin, decided we're going to stay in Austin forever, we're going to be Austinites. Hated it. But we worked at level 1 adult trauma centers, level
Wow.
1 pediatric trauma centers, rural ERs, and standalone ERs, which is a Texas thing. ERs can
What's
actually...
rural ERs?
Basically, being from LA, there's no such thing as rural. But if you were to stick a emergency room, say, maybe like in Ojai,
Okay.
yeah, something, something
Okay.
relatively small. So you
All
may
right.
have 4 or 5 beds, and it's just you and a doctor, basically.
Okay.
So you have a lot more responsibility. And on those standalone ERs, it's you, a doctor, a CAT scan person, or X-ray radiology guy, an administration person, and you run the ER like a big ER. You do
Oh my
everything
God. And
that a
the
big
ER
ER
is
does.
crazy.
Absolutely nuts. And it's only getting more nuts as time
I'm sure
goes
you
on.
guys have the craziest stories of ERs. What's the craziest, one of the craziest things you've seen?
Oof, a couple, actually.
That you can say on air.
right. There was one guy in Florida, which I always like to reenact.
Oh, it's always Florida.
It's always Florida. I like Florida. I love Florida. But those people coming out of the woods, you never know.
You don't.
So my interpretation is the guy was using an M80 firecracker. My interpretation is he lit it and goes, "Yoo-hoo, I'm going to throw this." And it blew up in his hand and blew his whole hand off. But miraculously enough, they were able to repair that
God.
hand back to...
Shut
it was
up.
unbelievable. It was blown into a million pieces, and they actually repaired it where it would look like a hand again.
But the funny
Oh
thing
my
was when he held it
God.
up after it had happened, he looked like he was doing the hang
Yeah,
10.
looked like the hang
It was
10.
just his
Hang
thumb
loose,
and-
hang
Yeah,
loose.
hang loose.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's one of the crazier things. And just to think about it, I mean, you just can't narrow it down because there's so many different things. Not one day in the ER did I go, "Oh, that's surprising."
Well, I'm sure you see not only crazy stuff, but miracles too. I'm sure that you
Oh.
can see like amazing things. Like, Kim, what's one of the coolest things you've seen? Because I'm sure you have, I've been to the ER more than I'd like to this year, and I've seen so much crazy things. And that's just, being there a couple of hours. I imagine you guys.
I think it's just there's so many miracles, but the best is when they come in and you know that if they hadn't come in, they would have died. You know what I mean? Like so many heart attacks. People come in and like in an ER, you can get somebody in, get them ready into a cath lab in less than 10 minutes.
Wow.
And when you hear that person walks out of the hospital 2 or 3 days later and they're alive. That,
It's
I think those
amazing.
are the biggest miracles. I mean, there's always the ones that just are wow, but I think just those everyday kind of things, because you see that every day in the ER.
Yeah.
So, how did you guys transition from being these ER nurses and being like, I'm sure, at 100 all the time, to now having your own business where you have this mobile IV, alpha hydration, and you also have erasing time, which is another part, which is like facial treatments and rejuvenation. So how did you guys go from that to where you're at now? It seems like it would be a natural progression. What made you decide to start doing your own business?
The ER over the years has really changed. It's not like it used to be. I felt like I made a difference every single day. There's a lot of abuse in the ER now, people that are going that really don't need it. And there's a lot of abuse to the nurses. So we went home one holiday. We used to take about 6 weeks off when we traveled and would spend it at home. And I had gone to an appointment, and this girl was telling me about her friend that had started an IV company. They're in Amarillo. And I was like, IV company. We could do that. So I go home because we're ready to get out of the ER and do something different. But we do enjoy being nurses. So we were hoping to find something that would incorporate that. I told Dwayne about hey, we could do an IV company. We come back, and our partner, Dr. Prince, we discussed it with him, and he was like, yes, I'm on board.
Yeah, immediately. I told him, I walked in and I said, give me your DEA license, give me your medical license, give me your social security number, give me everything that's important to you in your life, and let's go into business. He looked at me, and it was probably 1 second. He goes, okay. I said,
Right,
really?
because-
We're going to start a business then.
Yeah, because your IV company, although you two are registered nurses, you also have a doctor, a full medical doctor that is on staff, correct?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to get into the different IVs that you do, but I know there's a comfort that you guys bring. Not only when somebody is sick or hungover or dehydrated, but I know when I was sick, there was a comfort level that I had having nurses come and do the IV. And me, because I'm a catastrophic thinker, you guys would always pull me off the ledge. You get there and I'd be like, oh, and then by the time you left, I was cracking up,
Yeah.
And even Mike was like, they bring you a sense of comfort, I think. And I was like, I do. I also always felt better with the IVs, and you saved me so many trips to the hospital,
Right.
and it was amazing. You guys were always there. So what other IVs, can people use a mobile IV service for?
Oh my gosh, really, it's limitless. For instance, people like to do it for a hangover because
Right.
it is a game changer, especially as you get your 30s and 40s. Hangovers last a lot longer and they're a lot more severe. So that really, really helps that. It's coupled with B vitamins, fluids. Give a little something for the gut so you're not nauseated and it doesn't irritate your stomach anymore. And it really changes your next day or before. You can do it before too without the nausea medicine, but it just having that hydration in and of itself changes everything. So you feel so much better, you metabolize it better. We have
Travel. If you're
yeah.
going on a long trip or coming back from one, you always need some extra hydration.
Yeah, and vitamins.
Yeah.
I remember when I
Yeah.
did Tony Robbins, and it was going to be like 4 days, and I was kind of sick at the time, and you guys are like, you need some vitamins, and that got me through that 4 days of
It can.
intensive.
And
Yeah.
as far as jet lag and stuff like that goes, if you fly international, it's unbelievable. I always say you have to kill somebody to get a cup of water from them. Yeah. Because they come around, give you that little shot glass of water, drop that one ice cube, and go, okay. And you never see them again. They're up there sleeping. I don't know what they're doing.
Right.
But then you're kind of wandering around the plane going, I need something to drink. So I always tell people, if you're going to fly, do fluids. If you're going to go to altitude, do fluids. They did athletic studies. They used to pack red blood cells thinking they would get more performance. They weren't. They were getting more performance just doing fluids because they can oxygenate more, changing the structure of the blood where the cells actually separate, and now oxygen exchange is better. So there's so many different options that you can do. We like to customize. So if we come in and you say, oh, I feel tired, but I feel kind of
skin's a little
anxious. My
dull.
skin's dry, we can just kind of start packing stuff together and go, okay, let's do this, and this. Some glutathione or something like that, which is a great antioxidant for everything.
And Dwayne's certified in vitamin therapy, so he can offer you numerous things depending on what you're looking
Right,
for.
so you have extensive background
Yes.
and knowledge on what would be, which can customize each IV, which
Yeah.
is great. Like, I know if, and correct me if I'm wrong, after you're dehydrated, it doesn't matter how much water you drink, your body's not, it's not going to absorb it the same way that an IV would.
Yeah, no, you're probably, if you start out dehydrated to drink water, you're probably at least 24 hours behind, because that's how your balance starts. It takes about 24 hours to balance your fluid balance by drinking. If you do IV, it's instantaneous. It goes full body, every organ, the brain, I mean, everything.
Well, I know when
absorbed.
when I get the stomach flu, I dehydrate immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And I always get an IV, and I feel completely different. Like before the bag's even done, you start to feel different. You also have IVs for your skin, right?
Yes.
For skin treatments. Talk a little bit about that, Kim.
Well, we have biotin, lysine. You give vitamin C, helps bring that brightness back to your skin. We have glutathione, that is an antioxidant that is great. They call it liquid gold.
Okay.
It cleans out all your toxins and just helps your body to operate at its peak level.
And it's the number one anti-cancer agent made in the body. So the liver creates glutathione, but it doesn't create it in these amounts. So you actually get more benefit for anti-cancer. And then the vitamin C also helps with elasticity. Lysine helps with collagen production, and antibodies, helps promote antibodies. So all these vitamins do a ton of different things that, we're told you need to take your vitamins. Yeah, but they don't tell you how much, what for. Just take it.
Or
Okay.
like a certain amount, or
Right.
in order for it to be absorbed into the body, because
Right.
not all vitamins are.
Oh, you have to take so many.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to take a case of vitamins to get the kind of vitamins that we're giving IV for one dose for 1 month. You get it all versus, I take 25,000 micrograms of vitamin C a day. Okay, well, you're getting about maybe 2,500. But
Well-
you're also taking a pill that's the size of a football
Yeah.
to do it.
Which usually upsets your stomach when you have
Right.
to take so many vitamins. I'm like you guys know, I'm a delicate flower.
You are a delicate flower, you are.
They come. Okay, so I gotta just say, if you're scared of needles, still call them. They're amazing. I'm terrified of needles, and I always tell them I'm a delicate flower. So they come equipped for my high maintenance act.
Yes, we have
Yes, we
numbing
do.
creams.
Numbing
cold
cream,
spray.
scripted responses to get somebody off the ledge. No,
Yeah.
they're not scripted.
I'm so grateful to have met you guys, because you guys really, throughout this tough time that I had, where I thought like literally I was dying, and you guys kept me together. Poor Mike, he would have paid you double had you told him it's going to be double this
but
time.
we would never do that to you or anybody else.
No, I know. But I'm so grateful, because you guys seriously just got me, just not through the physical part, but the emotional part too.
Which I think is even harder, is the emotional part.
Well, you guys have this gift of making you laugh while you're doing this, and I just want a video camera so I can follow you guys around, because I'm sure that you guys have not only ER stories, not only trauma centers, but I'm sure with your mobile IV, you must have a lot of great stories.
There are a few.
You going to Burning Man?
Right, yeah. We actually did some people that were going to Burning Man, which to me sounds awful. But yeah, we
fixed them up
fixed
before
them
they
up
left.
they left for Burning Man.
Yeah.
The stories write themselves. And that's what's funny is you don't even have to, you couldn't script this stuff. Like in the ER, you can't script it. It comes to you and you just go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the same
I
thing with
know.
the IV business. I mean, not everybody. It's a lot more less frequent in the IV business, but the ER, it's like it's unscripted, great television. If you were there,
What I love is that you guys come with experience.
Yes.
You have been nurses for so long. You have dealt with the hardest, which is the ER department and trauma units. And when you're going to get an IV, you want to make sure that you know the background of the person. And, you guys have the background. You have so much information. You are certified in vitamins. So you get kind of a whole package.
Yes, you
And, plus you get a little comedy show on the side. And you might even get them to tell you a couple stories.
oh yes,
Free entertainment with your
you do get
IV.
free entertainment with the IV. That's just part of it. I don't think anybody should go through life not laughing.
That's right.
Well, and like I said, I'm scared of needles. And I had you guys over at least once a week.
Yeah,
Right? If
yeah,
not more.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
exaggeration. Yeah, once a week.
Once a week, if not on a couple of times, a few times
Yeah.
in the week when I was really bad. And I was already getting poked and prodded all over the place at the hospital, but you guys made it easy, and I think I put a lot of pressure on them with being the delicate flower, but they always did a great job. So
She is a delicate flower.
The struggle was real some days. The struggle was real some
my
days.
God.
Well, the thing is, we also carry a bit of compassion with us. I mean, being ER nurses, you kind of lose your compassion, and it's not because of who you are. It's because of what you're exposed to. So that's kind of one reason we want to get back into it, too, is because we still care about people, and we want to help them in any way possible that we can do. And that emotional side sometimes is really, really difficult. Some people really do have some kind of emotional thing going on like you did, that's a big struggle to think, what's going on? Why can't we fix it? Why can't we find it? And that's really a hard situation for everybody.
And they're scared, and, sometimes you have to counsel a little bit and just give that reassuring word and help them through whatever's going on, because sometimes it's a lot more than just some fluids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you guys, really did that for me and for a few people that I know of. So I think that, that compassion, it's important to have empathy,
Yes.
for that person. And you all guys also help people detox,
Yes.
So you have such an array of different things that you do. And you guys, you need to go on their website. They have so many things. They're located in Woodland Hills. Can you give everybody where to find you? All your social media handles.
Yes, our Alpha Hydration is at Alpha Hydration. The Erasing Time, if you want to look at that, if you're just curious, since we did mention it, it is at Erasing Time. Facebook, I believe, is Alpha Hydration Services. I
You
think
can
that's
find
it.
I think it's
Yeah,
Alpha
if you look
Hydration.
up Alpha Hydration on any of those, you're going to find us because
Okay.
we're the only ones that exist. We have our website, www.ahsiv.com.
Okay,
It's
wait.
got a
8, like the number 8?
A as in Apple.
Okay.
HSI.
Alpha Hydration Services,
Okay.
AHS.
AHS. Okay.
IV.com.
Okay.
So AHSIV.com. Yeah.
Awesome.
Tells
Ooh,
everything.
that's a mouthful,
That
isn't it?
is a mouthful.
Man.
So, Kim, briefly tell us about Erasing Time and what you do at Erasing Time, which is a sister company of
Alpha.
Alpha Hydration.
Yes, we needed a location. We decided that not everybody wants you to come to their house. Sometimes they want to come to you. So we opened up in December 1st and decided that we would do a few more things. So I do Botox fillers. The things that I love to do are the vampire procedures, vampire facials, which makes you look younger. I do Forma, Lumeka, a lot of things. I'd like to help people age gracefully, bring out your inner beauty. You don't want to look like everybody else. You want to be yourself. So I try
best
to do
self.
that, right, your best self, and just help you to look better, refreshed. That
Oh,
kind.
and moreover, it's since we do appointment only, we try to make it's one person in the appointment, so you get that individualized treatment as opposed to going to the giant med spa where they throw you like cattle. They're poking you with the electric rod. You got to go through here. You got to go through here,
It's
and then they just put you down the line. Which you come in, we give you a hug, we give you a drink, we give you whatever you want. A snack, you get a snack. We sit back, we talk, then we do some procedures, and we visit some more. It's really comfortable.
Yes,
Well, your
very
customer
individual.
service and your bedside manners are incredible. And I'm a big fan. And, like I said before, you're my little angels. I wouldn't have gotten through this without you guys.
Well, if anybody prospered from it, it was us getting to be friends with you and Mike, and we love
That is
you
the
guys.
best, yeah.
Yes.
And Rocco. And
And
Rocco.
Rocco. and even Spike.
Yes, even Spike.
Spike tolerates us.
Spike's like, what are you doing to my mama?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
delicate flower over there.
That's right. That's right.
I don't think you guys have ever seen me with makeup.
You look beautiful.
Since, thank you. I wasn't fishing, but keep it coming.
Ooh la la.
But, yeah. But it's just funny because whenever they would come over, I would be doubled over in pain or think I was dying. And you guys, oh my God. It seems so long ago, but it was just, I just got over this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and yay.
Yay,
Yay!
yay.
And
That's
hopefully
the
Yeah.
best.
That's it.
And that we've been hoping for that for a long time now.
Yes.
Yeah, and you guys never lost hope. You kept me hopeful. I
No,
was like,
no,
I
we
don't
never
know.
lost hope.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You think I'm going to die? And you guys are like, no.
A lot of
we're not gonna
no's. No,
die.
I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think I have cancer? No, they would have found her. Do you think? No.
You're going to be all right. Yeah.
They're going to figure it out, and you guys are so patient. So one question before we leave, because we have to unfortunately wrap this up, and you have to come back. And again, you guys, Alpha Hydration, you got to look them up. They are amazing. I feel blessed to have found you guys.
Well, we feel the same way.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And the benefits that I've gotten from the IVs have been spectacular. And it's something that even, I started because I was not healthy. But now that I'm healthy, I want to continue to get your vitamins, nutrients, and maybe sometimes, taking a multivitamin is great, but also, you got to kick it up a notch.
You got to supplement, kick it up a notch.
Yeah.
We're not saying you got to do it every day, every month. Do it on occasion. You're
I
going
do
to
it
love
monthly, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even with the B's complex, it really kind of does make a difference in how your body feels the C.
Yep,
So
it
I
does.
feel it. I definitely feel
it's
it.
insane.
Mike has felt it, and even the other day, it's so funny. Because Rocco, got pancreatitis
Yeah.
at the same time that I did. So I was
It's crazy.
jokingly going to text you guys going, hey, do you guys do dogs too? Because Aiden had the stomach flu, and Aiden's like, Mama, you better call Kyme and Dwayne. I don't think he ate Chipotle. So he got like a Chipotle revenge.
Oh,
He's
he's
like,
such a good dog, too.
Yeah.
Aiden.
Aiden.
Oh, him, too? Oh, why would you call Aiden a dog?
She moved that conversation right on, and you
Man,
just
I
said,
blacked out, I guess. I was so enthralled. When did you get a dog named Aiden? Didn't your son name Aiden? I met your Aiden son. I don't remember the dog.
Oh, my God. But
funny.
everybody in the house, because Mike's had an IV. I've had
yeah.
multiple. And then Aiden, I told he had the stomach flu. Not the stomach flu. He had food poisoning from Chipotle.
What a surprise from Chipotle.
I know. And he was like, Mama, I don't care if it's an IV. Call them. And I'm like, all right. He's like, we waited and it passed.
then it got better, yeah.
But then Rocco got pancreatitis, and I almost text you guys as a joke. Do you guys do dogs too?
Crazy enough, we do know how to do dogs.
Of course you do.
Because we have dogs.
We have dogs, and one needed that. So
If we could do humans, surely we could do dogs. Surely.
All encompassing. Well, one last question before you guys leave. I'm going to ask you individually. If you were left unsupervised and nobody can hear you or see you, what would you do? Kim.
Oh, I think that I would turn on my most favorite music and sing and dance like I was a pop star.
Ooh, what's your favorite music?
I like all the hip hop and a little bit of rap for that kind of thing.
Would pay to see that. Let's make this happen. Dwayne?
Oh, my answer is so different from that that I'm actually going to have to change it. Normally, I would probably do a rock concert. The same thing. I'd sing around and dance. I'd play the air guitar, air drums because I'm awesome and I never miss a beat. So since she's already going to be doing that when she's left unsupervised, I would probably gorge myself on my favorite foods and drink Dr. Pepper without any kind of, no social stigma. No, are you going to eat that too?
Yeah.
Just because, I'm going to eat that too with no one to say. And I might couple it with some rock concert.
In between
Kim
bites.
In between bites, that's
And
right.
Kim's going to rap for you.
And dance.
And dance. Oh,
Is
man,
all
and I'm
this
going to have the
clothed or
moves.
any of it naked?
All of it's in
naked.
underwear. I'm underwear
Or
guy.
just go naked and pretend I am the body that everybody is envying, right?
Everybody always wants to get naked on
Yeah.
with
That's
this
so
question.
funny.
It is. But I think
love
in
it.
just envision
She would be
that
naked for
you
sure.
are
I'd be in
that
my
one.
Oh my
underwear.
God. Oh my God. I would pay big money.
You probably pay more to leave. Well, that wasn't worth it. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Here's some more cash. It'd be rough.
Oh my God. Well, you guys, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for
I
having us.
absolutely love and adore you guys. You know I do. I am so grateful to have found you, and I'm so grateful that now I can hang out being nice and
we have
healthy.
Happy hour.
We have plans.
We have plans.
We have plans. So thanks again, Dwayne. Thanks again, Kim. And it was awesome having you guys on.
Oh, we had
Thank
a
you.
blast.
Thanks for listening to Left Unsupervised. Don't forget to stalk us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Left Unsupervised Podcast. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.